There was a time when I used to check out. I used to just check out of what was going on in reality of what was happening in the community around me, the world around me, in this nation, in other states. But I realized you can't. There's no moral benefit. There's no moral gold star thumbs up that you get for checking out when other people are suffering. We're called to lean in, we're called to learn, we're called to help. Lift up our voices, like it says in Proverbs 31. We're called to set people free from bondage and injustice, like it talks about in Isaiah 58. That's the kind of fasting and religious practice that God cares about, is compassion, grace, justice, truth. Not doing religious practices and ignoring the people who are suffering, people who are being unjustly treated. That's checking out. A lot of people, a lot of churches, a lot of places in this nation are may find themselves doing that right now, and I have to say, you can't do it. You can't do it and love and claim to love people and love God. You can't check out. And I know how difficult that is to hear, because I used to be in that. I used to be the one that checked out. And as a white person, it's easy to lean back into comfort and just to go inside and close the door, because you're probably safe from much of the activity by doing that. Because as a white person, you're probably not going to get a visit. You're probably not going to get a knock on your door. Probably not going to suffer as much abuse. So it's easy to say, well, it's not affecting me, so I'm going to just ignore it and check out. It's easier to not have to mentally process everything that everyone else is going through. But that's a lazy thing. It's not godly. And my question is, does it have to come to your door for you to care and for you to engage? Or do you have to experience the actual brutality in order for you to start raising your voice, taking a stand, defending, your family or your neighbors? Like, does it really take that? Or should you start now by looking at, oh my gosh, the injustices that are happening to the people around me are unconstitutional, inhumane, ungodly, and I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and talk about it at the very least, but also resist it, also call it out, also get involved with voting it out. These are things that are happening right now. You might think this is overreaction, but like, if you're not seeing what's happening in the literal neighborhoods, streets, and things like that, then I question what's wrong with your sense of morality and your worldview. So, yeah. And, I'm sure the spin that's coming at you right now, if you're checking out and closing your doors, I'm sure one of the spins that you're hearing is, this is just being over sensationalized. It's being over dramatized by media, and people are overreacting. And it's like, no, this is what happens when people's lives are being threatened. This is what happens when you have to defend yourself because no justice is being followed, no due process is being followed. People don't feel safe. It's amazing what happens when people don't feel safe, and it's sad that that's the reality of everyday people in a lot of communities right now, and growing. And if their goal is to keep going state to state with this level of abuse, it is going to get worse. And if you are concerned and you want to demonize rioting or protesting, I'll remind you that Dr. King said something incredible, very poignant. He said, um, riot is the language of the unheard. And that means people are not being understood, not being listened to, not being heard in their outcry for justice. So they have to get out and start to make the voice louder, make the get the visibility, get the attention of the government officials, get the attention of the justice system. And in order to do that, sometimes you have to keep elevating the noise, elevating the volume until something changes. That's how change has taken place in this nation historically. So don't pretend that it's something new and that these people are all corrupt and that they're all abusive people that are getting out on the street or being paid to do this. No, like the abuse is happening from the literal federal government right now, and that's sad. So if you care about people, it's time to check in and not check out.